Greetings everybody, my name is Tommy and welcome back to Monopoly Week on my channel. Now so far I have reviewed some of the classic games for the NES and Super Nintendo and they were so-so. The only thing I can say that really stood out about them is they kept the look of the classic board game and I did enjoy the animated chance cards. For their time, they weren't bad. If you really do like classic games, you might pick them up, but I can't really heavily recommend them. Now I'm moving on to the Xbox 360 with my favorite version of Monopoly, Monopoly Streets. Now, what do I like about this game? Well, practically everything. The people who made this version must have loved the board game to death and not only wanted to put together a decent version of the board game, but make it a good video game version of it too. Everything here is presented well. First off, you get more than one board. Yeah, there are tons of boards to choose from, and these boards, I mostly stuck to the two specialty boards and the original boards when recording. The default one is actually the street one, but there are a few other boards that are more like the classic boards with different variations of it. One of the things I love though are the tokens in this version. They're not just tokens that walk around the board like in some of the other versions. No, these tokens are matched to people, and the tokens fit these people's personalities. The race car driver has the car, this uptown woman has the dog, and the hat goes to a little boy who looks like he's about to strike it rich, but can't keep his hat on, so he chases it around the whole board. It's kind of a cute animation, and it really brings these tokens and players to life and give it a more personality than the rest of the games do, and I just enjoy it. And then when you just throw in the city backgrounds and some of the special effects, again, the board game just pops and comes to life, which is what they were aiming for, and they succeeded brilliantly. I also like what they did with Rich Uncle Pennybags. Oh, wait, I'm sorry, he's now called Mr. Monopoly. Well, whatever, I like what they did to them rather than just being the trademark character that shows up in the background. They make him the master of ceremonies. He narrates the game and he pops in and out whenever something happens, and he has several humorous quips to help move the game along.
It's not whether you win or lose, but how you play the game. If you're a sucker.
I should also mention if you play on a board that these fully animated street scenes happen, the game will cut back and forth occasionally and kind of show you how each player is doing by showing these skyscrapers. If someone had a good turn, their skyscraper will grow. If someone had some bad luck, you will see it shrink. And if someone goes bankrupt, their skyscraper will collapse faster than a bank selling adjustable rate mortgages in 2008. They even went so far as to include some of these retired pieces as DLC. And they actually considered that this would appeal to the hardcore Monopoly players. Unfortunately, EA no longer has the rights to the game and these features have been disabled. Now, if you're looking to go and play the game by the rules you had as a kid, the rules you kind of made up with your siblings, and as long as they're somewhat common and can be doable, you have an option to toggle it. The game has a ton of game options all ready to go, but if you don't like them, then customizing a game to your liking is easy, and there's plenty of options to really choose from. You can set pretty much everything. And yes, there are options now to use that new speed die. If you like your Monopoly games to be over in about an hour, put that red die in and see what happens. If there is one bad thing I can say about this game, it's the fact that this game came out after the reboot, and it features those new damn chance and community chess cards. Now again, it's not that they feature new computer-generated artwork I hate. I hate the fact that it's generic computer-animated artwork and it has no life. They're all scanned in, they all look exactly like the real chance and community cards do, but they have no life to them. The original NES and Super Nintendo games put some animation to these cards because there were artwork there that they could animate. Here, like I said, generic and lifeless. I really dislike the cheap look of these new cards. But when I'm complaining about that, it kind of shows you just how good Monopoly Streets is. It got everything right. The developers obviously wanted to make a really great video game based off the board game and give it a lot of extra spice. They wanted this to be a memorable experience, and they achieved that. this is the version that I would recommend going out and getting. Unfortunately, EA has lost the rights to Monopoly, so not only can they no longer sell those tokens online, but there's probably next to no chance that this will ever become backwards compatible with the Xbox One. Now, the Xbox One does have a Monopoly game called Monopoly Plus, and unfortunately, it's going to be the worst game I'm going to be reviewing this week. Let's take a look at the disaster that is Monopoly Plus. In the meantime, feel free to hit that subscribe button. I would love to have you join my community. And I'll see you tomorrow with what is a really, really crappy Monopoly game made by Ubisoft.